Hello, everyone. Good morning. We're here in Tulum. It is absolutely beautiful and it is an absolute scorcher today. I don't know why I'm surprised, really. So, we're just going to be coming through some really nice stretches. You might see in a second the Marine Police going past. I don't know what's going on, but who knows? I'm not doing anything wrong. Yes, some nice stretches, nothing too hard because I cannot handle this heat. So come to the top of your mat, wherever you want to be, feet together, feet apart, hands by the side of your body, palms facing away from you, closing down the eyes. Pull the knees up. Gently activate the glutes if you know that you're somebody that sticks that bum out quite a lot. Feel all of the toes grounding down. Loosen that belly so you can bring as much inhale and exhales into your practice. In through your nose, out through your nose. And maybe you've got your eyes closed. Crown of the head reaching up tall. Shoulders away from the ears. Big inhale, hands all the way up. Take that gaze up ever so slightly. And then cross the left leg behind the right. Hold on to the left wrist with the right hand and fold over to the right. Feeling this stretch coming all through the left side of the body, down through the left hip. Remembering to breathe. Every inhale, see if you can reach that left arm higher up. And every exhale, see if you can fold just slightly bit more. Inhale all the way back through center, over to the other side, taking the right leg behind the left, holding onto the right wrist with the left hand, and folding over to the left, thinking about length more so than the fold, really reaching those fingers. Inhale, coming all the way back up, taking the feet now just hips width distance apart. Interlace the hands behind you. Big inhale, drop the knuckles down, pull the heart through. Gaze up ever so slightly. And then exhale, bending the knees a lot and folding all the way down, taking the arms up and over, interlacing those hands so if it feels comfortable for you. Or completely taking the hands down in front and just holding opposite elbows in your ragdoll. Wherever you are, though, keep those knees bent so much that you can rest your belly onto your thighs. And the head is hanging, there's absolutely no tension in your neck. Keep taking the knuckles down. And then inhale nice and slowly, coming back up. There's a bird. Can you hear the bird? Coming back up, taking the hands down to the ground, coming back into this fold. Starting to straighten through one leg and the other. Maybe you don't come quite straight, that's okay. Really conscious movements, conscious breath. Just notice whilst you're lengthening the hamstrings if there's any kind of tenderness or pains in that lower back. And that could just be a sign that these hamstrings are particularly tight. So don't do anything too hard on yourself. And what you could even do is place a cushion underneath the belly and the thighs so that you don't fold over so much in this forward fold. That could feel a lot more accessible to your lower back. Okay, coming back to stillness, placing the left hand down directly underneath your gaze, and then inhale, take the right hand high. Keep these hips square. Draw that hand up. Maybe you take that gaze up to the right hand, keeping the knees bent, keeping the hips square. Thinking about that left underside lengthening out to the front of the mat. Crown of the head lengthening away from the tailbone. And then exhale, coming all the way back down, right hand underneath the face. Big inhale, left hand high. Again, check that those hips are square. And breathe. Exhale, slowly coming all the way back down, planting the hands, stepping this left leg straight back into your low lunge, whether you want your knee down or your knee up. Dropping this left knee down, working through that left hip flexor. Remember, hands on a block is completely acceptable. And make sure that that right knee isn't in front of the ankle. Not necessarily bad, but it just means that we have to have a lot more strength in our quads to keep our knee nice and stable. If you want to, take your knee off of the ground now, still in this low lunge, but just assess where you are, listen to your body. And everybody, place your thumb in between this hip crease of the right hip and just pull that hip back so it's in line with the left hip. There's a tendency for us to kind of dump into this right hip, so just pull it back in space, almost feeling like you're pulling that socket back into the, pulling the ball back into the socket. Okay, coming into lizard lunge, taking both hands to the inside of this right leg. Now again, you can take that knee down, feeling this stretch through the inner thigh as well as that left hip flexor, keeping that length all the way from tailbone to the crown of the head. Coming into our corkscrew, or maybe you just come into an easy twist. So if it's comfortable, outside edge of that right foot, knee dropping out, you can just take this right arm up into this twist, or you can keep this right hand coming behind, pick up this left leg and pull this foot in towards your glutes. Really nice quad stretch. Keep this chest open. Wherever you are, easy twist or corkscrew, keep pulling this left rib cage underneath. Exhale, release, switching over to the other side. Left leg forward into your low lunge. Thinking about that alignment of knee and ankle on the left side. And if you want to take the stretch further, just walk that right knee further back and sink that hip down even more. Coming up off of that knee if you want to. And everybody, wherever you are, put that left thumb in that hip crease and just pull that hip back in space, aligning those hips again. If your knee is off, drawing that energy through the heel. And then coming down into your lizard lunge, both hands to the inside of this left leg, keeping that knee towards the arm. Feel free to come off of that knee. And then coming into that corkscrew or that easy twist, outside edge of the left foot, left knee dropping out to the side. Easy twist or pulling this right leg up towards your glutes. Right rib cage spinning round to the left. Keeping this chest nice and open. Exhale, completely release both hands back down. Taking this left leg back to meet the right in your high lunge, and then coming back into your downward facing dog. Nice and easy, nice bend in the knees, heels off, whatever feels right for you. Keeping this head nice and loose, give it a shake, just make sure there's no tension still in that neck. Coming into some spinal waves, so tippy toes, and then pull this back up like you're in cat pose, and then come all the way forward into your high lunge, into your high plank, sorry. Bending the knees, pushing that weight back, sending the tailbone high. Tippy toes, arching through that back, sending the weight forward, shoulders over the wrists, into your high plank. Bending the knees, pushing all the way back. And again, tippy toes, rolling through that spine, pulling the belly button up. And bending the knees, pushing back. One more time. Tippy toes, rolling through, all the way back. into that downward facing dog. Taking this right leg up, three-leg dog, bending that knee into your scorpion dog, drawing that knee up to the sky, keeping the shoulders square. And then taking some nice big hip rotations here, making a big circle with that knee. And then the other way. Keep pushing that mat away. You can absolutely do this on the forearms if your wrists are a bit achy, all the way down, other side. Left leg high, three-leg dog. Scorpion dog, bending that leg, drawing the knee up, opening up through that hip, keeping the shoulders square. And rotate. And the other way. Really nice. Back into your downward facing dog. And then coming all the way down into your plantar stretch, tucking the toes and sending the hips back onto the heels, hands onto your thighs, and breathing here. Make sure all of the toes are spread underneath you. Maybe you're even closing down the eyes. Big breath through your nose, filling up the belly, and out through the nose. Really nice. Coming all the way forward. Good job. Just wiggle those toes out. Coming into a comfortable seated position, or even standing or on a chair. Just going to work on this upper back. So we're going to take our arms all the way up and then down, but I want you to feel like there's a watermelon or something in between the arms, or even if you've got a block, and push the watermelon together. Imagine it's heavy, obviously. And I want you to think about all of this lift coming from the shoulder blades, reaching up and then coming all the way down. Because when we lift our arms, we want our shoulder blades to be working as well, and this rotator cuff to help protect our shoulder joints. So let's help strengthen all of those muscles. Hold that watermelon in front of you. And lift up. And down. And lift up. Really feel the back of the shoulder joint working here. And as you're pulling this watermelon in, you should feel the biceps and the front of the chest activate as well. Keep this rib cage contained, so don't be tempted to flare it forward. And if you are, more than likely it's a shoulder or upper back mobility, not issue, but this just not so mobile. So just take your arms up to wherever you can without sticking the rib cage out. Keep going. You should be able to feel something now, even though it's just an imaginary watermelon. Keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Hold this watermelon here, and then we're going to drop our arms back. So dropping that watermelon just to the nape of our neck, trying to keep these elbows drawing inwards and upwards. Make sure you're breathing here. This could be where you start to flare your ribs as well. Slower that you go, the more control you're going to have. If you're finding it really difficult, take the hands together and do the same. If you're somebody that's working in your forearm balance, take your arms like you would be in a forearm balance in your pincher, so with your palms facing up, and exactly the same down and up, keeping the elbows hugging in and drawing upwards. You should really feel it now. 3, 2, and 1. Really nice. Shake out those arms. Oh my gosh, that was a killer. Really good work. Just do this seated, thread the needle, so cross the right arm over the left, and then hook this left arm over, feeling that nice stretch through the back. Onto the other side. Really nice. And release. Just shake everything out. Just coming into some nice, gentle breath work here. So if there's anything else you want to do for your stretching, quickly pause, and then we can come into our breath work together. Okay, come back down into a seated position, nice and comfortable. Okay, we're just going to do an exercise that I discovered recently for anxiety that is really great for bringing you back into the present, and then we'll get working on some breath. Okay, so hands onto your thighs, palms facing up. Take this breath in through your nose and out through your nose, closing down the eyes, allowing this belly to be really loose. Okay, so anytime you're feeling stressed or anxious, overwhelmed, angry, sad, anything that is causing you to maybe not act rationally or act because you have got an attachment or an expectation of something rather than just observing and letting things happen, this is a great way to just come back into the present and just stop for a second. So I want everybody to think of 3 things that they can hear. Okay. Without opening your eyes, imagine 3 things that you can see. And now think about 3 of your body parts. And again, 3 things that you can hear. It can absolutely be the same. Three things that you can see. And 3 body parts. Once more, 3 things that you can hear. 3 things that you can see. And 3 body parts. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Coming into our deep yogic breathing, so counts of 3s or 4s or maybe even more. In through your nose, filling up the belly, the back and the sides of the ribs, the chest and the collarbone. And then exhaling in reverse, belly button coming back to the spine. So when you're ready, let's begin. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep going with your own rhythm. Maybe you can increase to 5, or you stick with it. Just notice how your breath is, how easy the air flows, if there's any areas of tension. And really consciously work through filling up the belly, the back and the sides of the ribs, the chest, and then finally the collarbone. Finding space where there was none before. Maybe this is the first time today or all week that you have really sat down and breathed properly. There's a real problem with our lifestyle nowadays that we only breathe through the chest. And that doesn't just cause physical issues, but also psychological and mental, because breathing with our bellies helps our cortisol levels reduce. Okay, take one more round of this nice deep breath. Hands to heart center. Once you've finished, take the hands up to the third eye center, drop the chin to the chest. Just coming back into your natural breath rhythm now. Well done for taking this time for you and sharing your practice with me. Whenever you're ready to come to the end of your practice, hands away from the eyes and blink the eyes open. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope that has just helped with whatever you needed help with, or just giving you a bit of a kickstart to your day. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you again.